What is up, guys? We got a first place deck profile here for our, what is your name?
Josh.
And what did you play?
I played Sakazuki today.
And this man just took out, what is it, the top 64 players of SoCal at Wildcard Cyclone. So if you guys want your best fix for the best competitive scene, show up to Wildcard Cyclone. This man got first with Sakazuki, and let's see the deck profile.
Alright, so Sakazuki, really good deck of formats. Obviously, you have your 4 Luchis. You need to have 4, goes without saying. And then this is the combo of the deck: 4 Luchis, 4 Rebekkas, and 4 Hinas. So this just lets you take out almost anything on board. You -4 to something, and your leader effect is -1. So you're taking out like a mid-sized creature, and you're also taking out a weenie as well. So yeah. And then you have your 2 dragons. I was trying this at 3. But if you play into decks that go aggressive, like Red Green Law, Zoro, decks like that, playing at 3, I just didn't have counter in hand, and the deck is already like half non-counter. So I just died into those decks. So I cut it back down to 2. You have enough turn to cycle into your cards, and hopefully you get Dragon at your 10 Dawn turn. So this card, it's really great. I know in Japan they weren't running it, but when you run out of cards, like, what are you gonna do? You know, so you just need to refill your hand. You get a 12k body on board. Stay healthy. You need to stay healthy to drop this card though. And sometimes when you don't have counters, you just don't get to that late game where you're able to drop this.
Is Zoro one of your hardest matchups?
Zoro, it really depends on the build. I'd say like I know there's like a new Zoro build where they're running like a bunch of Luffys and whatnot. If they're like decks like Whitebeard where they go like Luffy, Ace, it's tough. They like 2k tax you. If you don't have the 2k, you just kind of get wrecked in those matchups. Yeah. So aggressive decks like that, I feel like Sakazuki has it has an out to almost everything. There are some tougher matchups, but you know this deck still stands a chance against aggressive decks. You just have to see your 2k counters, your blockers.
Okay.
Yeah. So your 3 Porcelinos. This is a really good into yellow, especially like NL. So when you drop this on your 7-8 Dawn turn, and you're threatening lethal with this, they have to 8-drop this back in life, and at that point you can drop your dragon the next turn if you went second. So if you're at 2 lives, they bottom this, or they put it back in life, and you go to 10 Dawn. So they waste the entire turn playing the 8-drop, and you go to 10 Dawn, you drop the dragon, and you have 3 lives now, and you're free to take probably 1 life. You want to stay around 2 lives, but if you have to take the extra life, go down to 1. Make sure you have like a Rebekka or something, or have another blocker, so you just don't get lethal.
Yeah.
Super good card. This with Ice Age gets rid of almost anything.
Yeah.
Awesome card. This is the card I'm trying out, the one of Kuzan. I've been liking it a lot. You can dump it with brand new, add it back with Rebekka. You're probably not doing that, but sometimes there are turns where you go like, I haven't experienced it yet, but in theory there are some turns where you go like 8 Dawn, Rebekka, and you just play the Kuzan set up for when they're about to drop dragon or whatnot. So this is your out if you don't have the Ice Age. I haven't used it in that situation yet. But Kuzan, super good card. If you drop it on 4 Dawn, it's really threatening and they have to get rid of it, or else you just pop anything with your Lucci. You can Houndblaze anything. I want to put this up to maybe 2, maybe 3. I'm trying it at 1. It feels fine for now. Not set on the deck profile yet, but this deck profile feels really good right now. Just 1 or 2 cards I want to change, maybe. I think it's fine as is, but yeah, so 1 of.
And by the way, just to pause, this is what he won for Wildcard Cyclone. 2 boxes of OP05 and 1 box of OP01.
Yeah, so the 2 ultis. I know some people were playing this at first. I didn't want to try it because it just, for some reason, just sounded bad to me. I'd rather play something else for 4 Dawn. But I've been testing this card more and more, and I think it's perfect at 2. Every time I see this card, most of the time I'm playing it, I'm looking for options. I'm digging for Kaido. I'm digging for like a Lucci or a Rebekka if I don't have it. This just gives you more options, and it's a 5k body. You don't really mind if it gets popped, if it gets bottom deck, like it's already done its job, it's found you a card, and you get to organize the top of, so you look at top 3, you add 1 to hand, you don't even reveal it to your opponent, you just add it to hand, and the other 2 you either choose to top deck it or bottom deck it, and it's just helping you dig more, and it gives you more options. I think it's perfect at 2.
Okay.
Brand news, obviously, this is what gets your engine started. Brand news, mill, add a ice age, add just almost anything in the deck.
Yeah.
Almost all of it is navy. So yeah, really good searcher for this deck. Sabos. I went back and forth between 1 and 2. I never tried it at 3. I think 3 is a bit too. I know some people run it at 3. I think it's a bit too much. But it's been perfect at 2. A lot of times it's engraved. You either milled it, you countered with it, but you just add it back with the Rebecca late game.
Yeah.
So you go into Rebecca, and then you add back the Sabo. You play the Sabo, and now they can't pop anything in the mirror. It's super good in the late game. And sometimes you just have to get rid of your non-counters, and this lets you draw 2 and trash 2. Amazing card.
Yeah.
You can also add it back with a Mancherry if you need it.
Yeah, lots of ways.
2 Borsalinos. I know a lot of people are playing this at 3, but I've noticed a lot of times I don't even want it in my hand, and it's good into like when Anel tries to starve you out and they go first. So they go 3 Dawn, do whatever, and they pass. They don't swing at your life, so you still have 4 lives, and they're threatening your 4-drop with a Gadatsu. So sometimes I won't play another 4-drop. I'll just drop the Borsellino, and now they can't pop it. And if the previous turn, if I dropped a brand new, they're just popping the brand new. And if your brand new is gone, you're just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So this is super good in the late game. It's kind of similar to Sabo. They both can't be popped. Obviously, Sabo is a lot better because it protects your entire field. But sometimes Borsellino is all you need, and it's more Dawn efficient. So this is 4 as opposed to 5. Sometimes you just need the extra Dawn for something else.
For a swing.
Yeah. So I'm running my 2K counts. Obviously, you have the 4 Surus, the 2 Bartos, and the 4 Toshigis. I think this goes without saying. Like, you just need it in the deck. I run 10 2Ks. I know some people run 8. I don't think 8 is enough. You play into red, purple Luffy, and they're swinging 6 at you. You can't counter. You're playing into Whitebeard. They're swinging 6 at you. You can't counter. And this is also addable back by Rebecca, Mancherry. So sometimes you just only have 3 Dawn after using your Rebecca or Mancherry, and this is another accessible blocker. Okay. And it's also a 2K counter. So now you just block her up late game, and if they can't kill you, you kill them the next turn, or you play for another turn.
Okay.
So Suru, most of the time, if you're milling these off a brand new, you're probably adding the Suru because the Toshigi you can always add back, but the Suru you can't. So yeah. 2 Mancherries. Really good late game. If you have one of the pieces in hand, like if you have a Becca, if you have a Lucci, if you have a Hina, you add one of those, or you add the other one back. Gets you your full combo, your Becca, Hina, Lucci. Sometimes Mancherry. A lot of times I just add back the Sabo with this, and I play it over, protect all my dudes on board. And they can't pop it, so they're swinging, doing nothing for the turn. I'm blocking, and next turn I just swing, maybe block her up again. And Mancherry, it kind of has like it's a pseudo blocker as well. Once you rest it, if they don't clear it, you're just getting so much value from it, so they just feel as if they have to clear it. So you get a card back, and it also acts as a pseudo blocker. Amazing card.
Because they want to get rid of it.
Yeah. So double Ice Age. This is where I cut out the 3rd Ice Age for the Kuzan, wherever that is.
Yeah, the 1 Kuzan?
Yeah, the 1 4-drop Kuzan. Yeah, there you go. So I cut out the 3rd Ice Age for the Kuzan. I think they're similar cards. They do the same thing sometimes, but Kuzan is a body and it's something to do on 4 Dawn. Yeah. And if you're going first, or if you're going second that haven't played Dragon yet, sometimes you drop it before their Dragon turn, and now you have a Kuzan on board. They're like, oh, if I drop Dragon, it's getting popped. So yeah, Kuzan amazing card, Ice Age amazing card, but they do different things sometimes. This is 1 Dawn. If Kuzan's 4 Dawn, it draws you a card. Yeah.
Just depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. 4 Great Eruptions, -2 when you get a draw 1. This card is broken. Like, you draw first and then you choose what to minus.
Yeah.
Amazing card. It just helps you dig more. It gets you more into more options. Yeah, goes without saying. And Houndblaze is
you have to play this. You have to play this.
Yeah, you have to play this card at 4.
Have you done the ulti combo with Great Eruption? Like, did you stack up the third card to draw?
I have.
Oh yeah, yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, sometimes I would see like a Lucci and I'd see like a Rebecca, and I'm like, oh, I would add one, put the other, and then use my leader ability, draw and see the other, have another card lined up or whatever.
Okay. What were your matchups throughout the whole day?
First round, I played into Blue Croc. It's kind of funny because in certain matchups, like you get a read for the players, and I was swinging 5 with my leader into Blue Croc, so he played about, I'd say, 3 Dofi blockers.
Yeah.
The 3-drop, he might have even played 4 Dofi blockers.
Okay.
So every time I swung with my leader, I went 5, I would minus the Dofi blocker, and he would think I would Hound Blaze it every time. So he would just block every time when I'm swinging 5 with it.
I see.
Yeah, so sometimes you just have to mind game them. You don't even have the Hound Blaze, but they think you do. Yeah, 2 of those times I swung, I didn't even have the Hound Blaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's all mind games, yeah.
Yeah, so Hound Blaze, another thing that comes up is you get off a trigger.
Yeah.
And let's say you have like a, let's say you have this on board, for whatever reason you had to minus something, or you have this on board, for whatever reason you had to minus something. And let's say Hound Blaze, I know one game, it wasn't in this tournament, but it was probably a week or 2 ago, where it was my last life, and I triggered Hound Blaze. So you return a 3 cost or less to the owner's hand.
Okay.
And I chose to return one of my 2Ks to my hand, and I countered out of their, when they're going for lethal, I countered out.
Nice.
So it's something that comes up, and it's something to keep in mind.
I see.
So yeah.
And in round 2, you played another...
So it was Blue Croc, Saka.
Jeez.
4 rounds of Saka, and then in the finals it was against Anel.
No,
Yeah.
okay. So you seem to have cracked the list to beat the even the mirror match for Sakazuki.
Yeah, so shout outs to my friend Kyle. We've been for about 2-3 weeks we've been playing the Saka mirror, and yeah, it's really prepared me for the mirror.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times I'm known for always like losing the dice roll, so I'm always going first into the Saka mirror, and if you're going first in the mirror, there's just no room for misplays.
Yeah.
So you just have to play really efficiently, and yeah, I think that's how we prepare for
Yeah, you're bottom decking weird
Yeah.
cards for what's a Lucci?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, cool, awesome. Thank you for the deck file.
Yeah,
Congrats
thank
on
you.
your first place win,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully I see you at nationals, and then hopefully you do well at
Hopefully
nationals.
I do well.
Yeah. Yes. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you.